What makes you think she's a witch?
Well, she turned me into a newt.
A newt?
We got better.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly thing.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Wait, Master. It might be dangerous. You go first.
It's the Al Travis Show. We're lucky to have our next guest on. He's none other than our favorite senator, Senator Aric Putnam. Senator, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I don't know if I'm on the air. I've mentioned, I guess, it's a weird day. I went golfing yesterday, 93 degrees or something, humid as all get out. Miserable day to golf. Fun golfing with the guys, but it was miserable, and it took so much out of me. On the ride home in the air conditioning, I was ready to just fall asleep, get home, showered, and the day was done. And I seem off today. I'm off about 5 minutes. Like, I get to the office, I was 5 minutes late. I'm like, I'm never 5 minutes. I do the exact. What are you when your mornings? Are you this guy? Because this is who I am. I get up the same time every day. I generally wake up about a minute before the alarm goes off. Body just gets used to it. Brush your teeth, do the thing. I'm within a minute every day of the exact. I was 5 minutes late to everything today, and I have no idea where the 5 minutes went. I'm just on a slower speed. Do you do that? What's your?
It happens. I think I'm still broken from the 4th of July parade. Independence Day was so hot and so old and so fat, and it didn't go well. So I think I still have some scars from that. So I totally hear you on that front.
Hey, keep me in the loop next parade you're going to if it's around. I want to bring my 62 Ford Fairlane. The family got me. I got signs with the logo on it. We'll ride in the parade. You don't have to walk no more. Just wave and smoke cigars. Great. All right. We got business to do. New question for you. If you could have seen one event in history, what would it have been?
That's super duper hard.
Well, yeah. Okay, everything's a softball. Come on, toughen up. You're a state senator, for heaven's sake.
Well, so here's the thing. So there's the actual reality of the question, and then there's the politics of it too. So I have to decide how big of a nerd do I want to be.
What would be the most fun to see?
Nerd.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just historically I think there'd be some really cool things to see if you knew you're safe. I mean, some of the battles that we've been in, that sort of thing. Being on the flight. This sounds really terrible. Being on the flight when they dropped the first atomic bomb, and to be there and hear these two gentlemen as they're flying, knowing that they will change history if it works. And the other thing they didn't know at the time is if it didn't work, if it would cause a chain reaction and the entire world was going to go to HE double toothpicks. I can't imagine the fear in those two gentlemen. I presume it's gentlemen. I don't know how many people fly that thing. The Enola Gay don't. But that to me, it would just be to watch that. I watch a lot of History Channel stuff, so they kind of show you pictures. I would be amazed.
Yeah. So I mean that's awesome. The other kind of math in there is you might get to meet someone awesome. So to see something cool, and then because my first instinct was I'd love to have seen as a fanboy. I would have loved to have seen George Washington's farewell address.
Oh, see,
it's a brilliant speech, total map.
That is
how to be a
nerdum.
citizen. And in a moment like that would be pretty slick. And I'd get to say, "Hey, George, what's up? Nice wooden teeth. Dig the beard, dig the wig."
He's
so
like,
see
cool.
that's
Cool, Judy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yours is more epic. It's more kind of historical.
Well, the other one is like when Edison finally invented the light bulb, like how many 998 of them didn't work, and then he finally hits on whatever and it lit up, and you know it's going to change mankind now. We're not living in the dark with candles. What did he say after that? It's like, son of a gun. Glad I didn't quit. Stuff like that I would love to see when they're doing it. That's all.
You know, he electrocuted an elephant just to prove that he could. So I think the guy's a jackass. I don't want to see that anymore. Elephants are cool, and that's a jerk move.
In the name of science. They do a lot of weird stuff with beagles these days. We put up with it. Anyway, so did you? That was yours. I like the Washington thing. That's cool.
So I think it'd be a really cool thing to see. It's historically significant. Like it was also a brilliant speech, and it'd be kind of neat to see what citizens supposed to mean. Since today it doesn't mean the same thing, which is very sad.
All right. On the same line, because I promised I would get this out, so I'm taking up some of your time. Yesterday, I think it was Gil Gutnick was on the program. We were talking about what's it called? Teed Up for the Troops. They have one in Rochester, and he brought up and said they've got them across the state. If somebody knows where they're at and when, let me know, and I'll hit them up. I got a couple if you don't mind. in your neck of the woods. St. Cloud Country Club, August 25th. As I understand it, there's still room for folks. If you'd like to be a part of Tee It Up for the Troops, St. Cloud's got one, August 25th. Fair enough. Have you been to one of those? I've been to one. It is, the flying in the helicopters. It's one of those things. If you're a military guy like I am, it's amazing. So be a part of that if you can. August 25th in St. Cloud. All right. Formal stuff is out of the way. Now I got to ask you, how prevalent the news cycle today? There's only 2 news stories. They've been the news story for a long time. They're going to be the news stories for another couple of weeks at least. How much are you spending your day talking about Senator Mitchell or even Shooter Vance, whatever in the world, the guy is a crazy guy? How much of your day is being spent with people asking your opinion on that stuff?
You know, when you said there are only 2 news stories right now, I assumed they were both Epstein. So,
Oh, well, we can talk that as not a national. I guess, yes. Okay, another one we'll talk about. We'll talk Epstein. But I mean, here in the state of Minnesota, that Vance Betzler, or whatever his name is, he comes out. We have to talk about it. In the business, we have to, and I get that. And the paper did a whole story on the letter that he wrote, and that was Crazyville. How much time should we spend on this nut job?
I don't think a whole lot. I mean, especially when you look at after you read the stuff that came from the FBI, like it's not like it's questionable whether or not he did it. Like it's
Yep.
pretty clear. So I just want justice to be served, and I don't need to follow the case.
Well,
It's you never
But
really
you're going to
follow
be
the case
forced to.
anyway.
Every time the guy opens his mouth, it's going to be the front page. They wrote Star Trib as of today, the entire letter. Sounds a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for me. I mean, he says, I don't shoot at police officers. And one of them's like, wait, he got in a whole firefight in front of the Hortman's home. It was just weird. And again, here we are talking about it. I think as talk radio, we have to. I'm just wondering if it changes anybody's mind on anything. Did the guy work for the CIA, trained off the books? If he is, the CIA sucks at training. He was horrible. The guy's a nut job. So I'm missing something, but we're going to have to talk about it. Do you spend any time talking about that stuff anymore? I mean, you kind of have to. Hoffman's coming back next week, I believe. So
Okay.
that'll be another thing of, how you doing. Quick question for you. What do I ask him when he comes back? My wife and I discussed this on a very long road trip. I love the guy. If he doesn't want to talk about anything, we just want to talk crap music. I don't care. I want him back on the show. But am I busting my solemn vow as a radio guy to not ask him what happened? You know what I'm saying? What's the right thing?
So I hung out with him last week. I went down to go see him where I visited him. He's in great spirits. He looks fantastic.
Good.
I don't think you need to worry about him coming up with something to talk about or with him telling the story. I think he's going to want to tell the story a whole lot because
It's cathartic. Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to be shy about it at all. He's going to be John. Like that was really made me happy for visiting him. There's 2 ways he could have gone. He could have become kind of more self-reflective, morose, sensitive. But nope, he's gonna stay John. So
Good. I'm glad I asked you that because that's been worrying on me. My wife, I don't know. I was going to let him just take the reins and we'll just chat about whatever he wants to. I can't wait to get him back. I think that is fantastic. It shows, obviously, he's taking visitors and that sort of thing, so he's doing relatively well, considering.
Yeah, he really is. And I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I think it's going to be great.
Okay.
To your other question about the coverage and talking about the culprit, I think, you obviously do have responsibility to keep talking about it. Just in my day-to-day, people talk about my safety more often than they do the punishment of that dude. So I had a town hall last week. First question was my friend Gail, and she goes, "Well, are we safe here in this town hall?" I had about 100 people.
Oh, yeah.
First question was, "Are we safe?" And I thought, I love the way she phrased it too, because it wasn't just about me. It's about everyone when they're there in a place like that, and someone could get kooky. And I pointed to the hallway and said, "Those are my 2 friends who were plainclothes SCPD." Who were just standing there, and our police chief Jeff has been so incredibly cool about this, almost to the point where it's annoying. So like he up till
Darn
last
police
week, he wouldn't
officers
really
with
let
that.
me go anywhere or do anything. Like he can always let someone watch it. And so I was talking to the plainclothes dudes, and I was like, "Look, I'm going to tell the chief that I've got this really important meeting in a bar. So you guys have to come with me to get a beer." And so that's my strategy going forward.
I love that. Is it seem to you, talking to the other folks in your line of work, that things will change at the Capitol? That seems the thing I read is we need this and this at the Capitol. I said, this had nothing to do with the Capitol, this one, not whether we have to have a bit more at the Capitol isn't my point. But this had nothing to do with that. You can put all you want at the Capitol. That wasn't going to change what happened, 4 weeks ago.
You know how politics works, because I think there will be some sincere efforts to make a change here or there about this thing or that thing. But there's also going to be a lot of crap where someone's like, well, we need to change this speed limit on this street because of John Hoffman.
Because he sped away in his vehicle, yeah.
It'll be like the most, tangential thing in the whole wide world, and someone's going to go, but we got to do it for John, and John will smile and laugh about it. And I think there's going to be a lot of that. One thing I do think is pretty likely in terms of Capitol stuff and security is I think there's a really good chance we're going to have a big conversation about people carrying at the Capitol. I think that's going to be a conversation. I've already reached out to a bunch of my gun pals here locally to say, like, how do you feel about that? And even some of the most strident Second Amendment folks are like, well, I'm not excited about it, but it kind of makes sense. So I think that's something that's likely to happen. I don't know. Likely to talk about.
It is weird. I'm a big Second Amendment guy. I have my carry permit, and I'm not necessarily a gun guy. I know a few real, know every gun and that sort of thing. I think the idea that I could live with at the Capitol is you have to register when you come in. You got to walk through the metal. I presume we have metal detectors. Great. I'm declaring I've got my permit and I've got a gun. Secret police want to walk around and follow me, you go right ahead or whatever. But I think declaring it would be one. If you don't, you walk through the thing, you didn't declare it, we're going to tackle you. We're going to put you down and we're going to take care of you. Again, because it's just people's rights, and you have the right to carry in the state. I'm not a knucklehead with it. I'm not going to do anything bad, but then declare it when you walk in, because bad guys won't. My opinion.
That makes sense. We don't have metal detectors, but we do have lots of cops. There's lots of other security there too.
See, but I don't understand why you don't have metal detectors.
We just
schools have metal detectors, for God's sakes. Put one in. And again, I'm telling you, I got one on my hip. You walk through, you do have one on your hip. Well, keep an eye on that guy. I don't have a problem.
It would go off so often with a lot of senators. A lot of legislators are carrying.
But that's back then. I like the personal protection of that. I'd like the personal protection of that if you had to. All right, we got to go to break. We'll be back. I want to talk about the other trial, the Mitchell trial. We'll do that right after this.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is a guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth. 525-1052. 525-1052.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
We've got him, Senator Aric Putnam, in talking about the game. The news story of the day is going to affect his life a ton as well. This Senator Mitchell trial goes one way or the other. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's going to be the story for the next 6 months, in that if she's found guilty, then the governor is going to have a new election, and we'll just keep repeating this thing. Here's my question to you, sir. Are you following along in that the paper covered the first 2 days? It's going to be every day this week. It's going to be the front page of the paper. I was hoping, like all get out, that I was going to hear when the two lawyer sides stepped up first to lay their stuff out, there was something else to the Mitchell thing than it was a wellness check. Because I think it's a bridge too far for me to swallow. You took your shoes off, you came dressed in black, you did not, it's just somehow she's going to have to knock something out of the park for me. And I'm sad about this, and I'm sad this is going to be the story for the next week, because there's nothing good here. They put a lady with Alzheimer's on the stand yesterday, and we're grilling her, and she couldn't remember her grandkids and stuff like that. It's like, God, do we have any sympathy whatsoever? Your thoughts on it? I'm sorry. I'm just getting it out of the paper. I didn't watch it.
No, I appreciate you being cool about it, and you always have been by and large, because there is like a human element to this. I will say, in terms of the trial itself, I'm just glad it's finally starting. And we talked about this before. I think it's been less than cool that it's been postponed as long as it has been. And that only makes it into a bigger story, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad it's getting going, and I want it to be done as quickly as possible, but also for people to be cool about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's like, be careful what you wish for. So when the first trial was coming up, we still need the numbers because we were still in session. Let's push that off. Well, then it happened again. And now we pushed it off, and then all of a sudden and you don't know what's going to happen. No one had any clue that the session would go long and or that the shooting would happen. But now you've done all this, and we're in a cluster in my book. You have the Hortman special election that has to come up. Got to do it. Then, depending how this goes, you might have that one you have to do as well. And all that probably has to get done if you're going to do a special session, which I know you're praying for. You can't wait to go down there and figure out how to fix the big, beautiful bill, right? That's your dream, that August, September, you'll be doing that?
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks I've been home with my family, and I'm already sick of them. So really just forced me to go back to St. Paul and talk about this crap again.
Email after email to the governor. Just get this special session, baby. I can't handle it anymore. But first, do you think there would be? And my point is, with all these things that have to happen so that all the numbers stay the same, so you get what you want, if you called a special session, aren't we almost to like 8 weeks before you guys get back in session anyway?
We go back kind of late this year. I think we go back February.
Mid-February.
17th. And everything I'm hearing is that it's pretty likely there'll be a special session early October to deal with the big whatever bill.
Who tells the big you hate the bill, whatever, I don't care. But how do you know it's going to affect us? My point is they got the bill. There must be some, really fun folks at the Capitol. They're busting it down and trying to tell you how many millions it'll cost, because it doesn't even take effect till October. That budget doesn't. So, I mean, it won't have done anything to us by October, if you will. So it's just some guy running a number and saying, Governor, this could be $1 billion. I throw that out. I have no idea what it would be.
Well, some of the stuff is already hitting us, like in the stuff in ag. So there are some sort of responses that we can make more expeditiously than not. But the other thing is that, some of the really, really harmful stuff doesn't take into effect until basically the day after the midterm elections, which I'm sure is just a total oversight.
It was a coincidence. Come on, why do you
save money until next December? I think is fine.
You're so cynical. But how do you? And I'm going to run out of time. How do we decide how you're going to do that? You're not going to have a special session unless everybody is locked down on what we're going to vote for, right? They're not going to open that Pandora's box. But Dameth doesn't have her counterpart Hortman around until you guys do a special election and then have to vote a new head person, right? I mean, I'm not sure how this all works. There's a lot of stuff that's got to go on between now and ever happening. I didn't even think about Hortman being.
I think the special election's up for like September 16th or something like that. So there's a chance that we can get everything ironed out, and there'll be a new leader before then.
But can you guys get together without being in session and make that call? Who the new leader is? A caucus or whatever? You just get together
and decide it, and they'll talk about it, and they'll do their thing in their caucus room. And then they'll come back and it becomes official. But a 2-week turnaround end of mid-September, beginning October is a little bit rough. But I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I've been hearing is October for a special session. Figure stuff out.
Fair enough. We'll find out. Senator, love having you in the program. Appreciate you being here, my friend.
Great to see you, dude. Take care.
Senator Aric Putnam on the Al Travis Show.